NFL.com's Dan Hanzus on who he thinks the surprise team in the AFC will be.
On the AFC, the Browns, to me, are the team. And it's thorny because people don't want to see this as a potential situation, but you look at their roster and you look at both sides of the ball, and Deshaun Watson, as bad as he was for 6 games to end last season, I think it's way more likely he regains his Texans form. And that's another team that's sneaky, has a really strong offensive line, a defense that got better. Elijah Moore was an interesting add to that offense. Amari Cooper, I think, is going to be the man there again. And I think I like Njoku as kind of a guy that could really break out in a big way with a full year of Watson. I think that's a loaded division, the North, and a competitive division, but I'm picking the Browns to win it.
Jared, it's kind of interesting as you get further and further along in preseason, more and more people are starting to come to the realization this roster is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good roster, and I think the reality is that Deshaun Watson just has to be pretty good for what Hanzus said to become true. Unfortunately, the AFC is really great, right? If the Browns were in the NFC South, everyone would be predicting them to be, to win the division, compete with the Philadelphia Eagles. Unfortunately, the AFC and the AFC North are really, really good. And so I think Hanzus is absolutely correct. It's a great roster. I think outside of quarterback, because we just don't know on Watson, I think there's a lot of good there. I think the Browns roster may be top 2 or 3, in the NFL this year, again, outside of quarterback. And so to win the AFC North and to be competitive for the wild card, I think Deshaun Watson needs to be a pretty good quarterback. If they get anything close to what he was with the Houston Texans this year, the Browns will be in discussion, again, barring injury, but that's true everywhere. Barring injury, the Browns will be in the discussion with the Chiefs, with the Bills, with the Bengals. Really, I think that's going to be the class of the AFC, maybe the Jets, but even that, there's a lot of young players, and you can't have a bad offensive line in the division and in a conference that has a lot of great pass rushers. So I think Hanzus has hit the nail on the head. Now the Browns need to prove me and him right.
Yeah, again, we've said the rosters look good the last couple of years. It hasn't worked. It goes to show you how important quarterback play is in the NFL, in today's NFL.